All right, so I'm currently on the phone with John. He's another musician that reached out to me about the current interview series. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the chance to introduce himself.
Hey everybody, I'm John. I'm a I'm a bassist in Minnesota. Just kind of doing my thing, trying to you know um, get more well acquainted with everyone else and all the other musicians in Minnesota.
Excellent. So I always like to dig a little deep and find out, what about music initially, connected to you? What did you find in music that really made you want to participate in it?
Um, uh, Personally, I grew up with a lot of classical. I didn't I didn't study classical instruments, but I listened to a lot of classic rock that my dad had kind of, bought me CDs and stuff of, like Steppenwolf and all that sort of. AC/DC was the point where I kind of wanted that, got me interested enough to pick up an instrument.
Okay, so it was kind of motivation from your parents introducing you to the kind of music that they listened to that you connected with.
Yeah.
Okay. And so once you did kind of have that connection and you picked up an instrument, were you immediately drawn to the bass guitar, or did you kind of have to go through a few different avenues to get there?
Um, well, I ended up going through one other instrument to get to bass. I started with acoustic guitar, and I don't know. I guess something about it I didn't I guess sit well with me, or it wasn't really my thing. Um, I just have been. I picked up. I ended up getting a bass from my mom bought it for me, and ever since then I've just been doing my thing.
Awesome. So, did you take private lessons then, or did you kind of just learn on your own?
With acoustic guitar, I did, but with bass, I have not.
Okay, so most of like the rhythm and everything that you put into the bass guitar, you picked up and carried over from the acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you do any writing while you were playing acoustic, or did wait until you were playing bass guitar and then working with other musicians before you actually started like writing material?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. I didn't spend very much time on the acoustic guitar.
Okay.
And then, playing bass, I didn't write anything for probably uh, at least a few years.
Okay. And did you participate in like the school jazz band since you were playing bass at all?
No, I did not.
Okay, so it was all outside of school and everything. And
Yeah.
where did you do like your average high school garage band type scenario?
Yeah. I tried. It was where in where I live in Minnesota, it's kind of scarce. You kind of have to know people or know a guy who knows a guy,
Mm.
and kind of connect that way. Network.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a couple of guys that I knew that were regularly doing stuff, and they let me play with them.
Um, yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm in Minnesota myself, so I'm familiar with the music scene, and
Mm.
it definitely is that way. Um, so once you did kind of get into the band that you're in and start working on music, um, how did you kind of figure out what sort of content you make? Like, were you completely informed by your influences about the style of music you wanted to make, or did it kind of come to you secondarily?
Hmm. Like, can you give me like Like, can you elaborate a bit more?
Yes. So you mentioned that one of your influences is like AC/DC. So is that kind of where you pull your influence to kind of gauge the type of music that you want to make? Is in that similar vein, or do you have like different tastes and preferences that change the way that you want to create inside of a different genre per se?
Um, I mean, it's kind of for me. It's like, yeah, ACDC is and always will be a main influence for me. But I mean, I like to believe that my tastes have evolved over the years. I, I'm sure that we've all gone through, phases of being like, well, this is this is the best, or
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that you listen to, and it kind of clouds your musical judgment, tastes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I have gone through that. I used to do quite a bit of metal, and I still do to a certain extent,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't. Recently, I've been drawn more and more to like funk groups like Wolfpack and Cory Wong. And I've tried to, it's kind of, I try to mesh what I like, which is, a lot of stuff, everything, honestly, and try to, I mean, depending on the song, it's hard to, you can't get everything in on one track. It's kind of, that'll never happen.
Right. So, what is the project that you're currently in?
My current project is Vulgar Tongue. Um, kind of a mixed bag. It's the best way I could describe it is if you've ever heard of Nightwish or Evanescence. I mean, obviously you've heard of most people have heard of Evanescence,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because they're still kind of popular, I'd say. And I'd say we're more towards like Nightwish.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's kind of we got heavy songs. We got you know we have it's kind of heavy and like slow and melodic. Uh, it's I'm trying to push it more in a direction where it's like uh, more groovy,
Okay.
more. I don't like doing um, the same thing all the time like metal. Uh, I like metal, but I don't like doing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
you eat the same food every day. You eat your favorite meal every single day, and it's not going to be the same.
Right. Right. So are you guys currently recording? Have you already released an album? What's the current status of your I guess interaction?
Well, currently, it was about I think now it was 5 or 4 months ago where we released our first um our our first album, and it was and that was it was July. We are currently we're trying to recruit members. We need the drummer and the singer that were both on that recorded with that album are no longer with us. We've since parted ways. So looking for another drummer and another singer has kind of been most of our time, and it's been difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as we're able to acquire said drummer and singer, we will be lining up the gigs.
Okay. So, where would you like to see the current project in 5 to 10 years, and then also, your musical endeavors? Where would you like to be?
I mean, I'd love to. I think anybody in a band with dreams, having grander endeavors of making it big. I don't think I don't know. I would like that, but I want to be realistic about it. You
Hmm.
know, I like ideally I'd like to see us gigging at least a few times a month or more, probably you know 2 to 3 times a week.
Hmm.
Um, and then as far as my musical endeavors, I'd hopefully in 5 years I'd like to be doing I don't know, some more complicated arrangements,
Hmm.
just growing my skills, with my instrument. That would be my goal.
Sure, sure. So, looking back at the period of time that you've been participating in music, what are some of your favorite memories? Whether it be like writing a song or a show that was motivating to you. What stands out to you and keeps you going?
Well, definitely the what uh what drives me is you know sorry. What drives me is like wanting to see how far I can take music or my musical abilities, and how far you know push myself. My um my favorite memory um was a long time. It was one of my first bands, and we went. I think I can't remember. It was northern Wisconsin. We played at a place called Wasco's. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Mm-mm.
They so we I didn't know about anything about this gig until probably the week prior, and which wasn't it was sort of out of the ordinary. But we get this gig, and they tell me, hey, we're gonna be going northern Wisconsin. I'm like, how far is that? Well, it's a 4-way trip each way, so it's far. um and we get there, and I come to find out that they were all brandishing bottles of alcohol. Um, this was back. This is back when I was about 10 years ago, and I was about 21. I was the only one who was 21 in the band.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we, I mean, I didn't want anything to do with alcohol. I was kind of I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get drunk. Well, these guys wanted to party really hard, um, and they did. They definitely did party very hard and get quite belligerently drunk. Um, I mean, it was a to me at the time it was very. I was nervous and also like worried, but looking back, it's just it's funny because I'm just like, man, you guys are really, really drunk. But that's it. That's the story. That's the one of the stories that is I look me looking back fondly on it.
Okay, sure. So, what are some links where people can take a listen to the stuff that you currently have out and, take a look at what you're doing?
Um, well, on for my personal um, works, I usually try to upload a cover on some of songs that I like. Um, and recently I've kind of been busy, trying to arrange and write songs, um, which kind of been taking precedent. But I think my YouTube channel is called Mr. Impossibrew. Um, it's got you probably be able to find it since it doesn't have a whole lot of not very many videos on it. And but for my main project, um, it is on YouTube. The whole album is on YouTube, Spotify, uh, any Apple, any platform, virtually any platform you think of, it's on it. Uh, Love for you guys, everybody, to take a listen to it. If you like it, then I'm ecstatic. It's going to be great if you like it. If you like it and you hear it on a different platform, go to YouTube and leave a comment. Like one of the videos or something, just to let us know that we're doing something right. Um, and that would, if you don't like it, then that's also okay too.
Excellent. So I always like to give the person that I'm interviewing the opportunity to put out their last word. So a message that you feel resonates with you.
Uh, it's just my words to the internet would be is just be, everybody vibe on their own and on their own stuff, vibe on at your own pace, at whatever you want, and just vibe and let vibe, I guess.